Hello, good evening. Uh, my name is Loie M, and this is my life, and this is my channel. I'm the host. This is about uh, telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I thought this up when I found out there were so many lies going around about people of color, what they had been told and what the Europeans was telling the people of color, the non-Europeans, was telling, and a lot of people were believing the lies that they were telling us. Uh, I always was a very inquisitive young child, and I had been hurt so much growing up that I didn't believe nothing anyone said to me. Uh, Except for maybe my pop. He took care of me, he protected me, he watched over me. He was my guardian angel, and he still is. So, uh, this is going to be about to tell the truth and about who I am and get down to the bottom of who I am. Who do you think you are? Do you really know for sure that's who you are? Because a lot of us that is not of this country, and of course, we're none of us are. Even the Europeans, they are not of this country. So, when can you tell about who you truly are when someone else had told you who you are? And so confusing, so confusing. Okay, so uh, what is my identity? And what's your identity? The definition of identity is the fact of being who or what a person or thing is. Okay, how do you know who or what you are? See how confusing that is? I say the only reason you wouldn't know is that if someone had told you what your identity is. You see, not that you searched and got the proof of it. A lot of times, identity it is from someone that has told you who you were, and you believed it. Okay, so a while back, I sent out for my DNA results, and I found that I was from different places. Uh, I guess you could say ethnicities from different places. Uh, and I find it very impressive, interesting, however you want to put it. So I found a lot of answers that I looked up my genealogy after I found, and they'll tell you in your, what do you call it, ancestry, different countries, and you can search your genealogy from there. And then when you find another, ooh, this might be it. Then you go and look at that next one, and then you'll find something else, and next you, until you get closer and closer to that country, and you know that's it. And you continue it, at least I do. I continue those tidbits that I find answers to, and I know that's where I'm from. And one place I have already know my ancestry came from there. Uh, so let's go here. Okay, Europeans, uh, not not genetic biological, serves no purpose. Uh, Europeans used race to, I say, separate people, to be sure that uh, this person could not go to the same bathroom as this European person could. So they love making up names. It's European people. I noticed that in titles and stuff like that. That's interesting. Uh, they thought of white and black. Why? You know why. hmm They thought of the way people look, the hair and the skin, and they thought of as animals, the ancestors. And they thought of themselves as pure. So, what else word would they use? Hmm, pure white. So, but I call them Europeans, and we are non-Europeans. So, I feel better about that. Let's see. And they use it to separate people. That's all it's good for. Okay. Um, as far as that goes, because of that, uh, I really don't know my identity. And if you are honest and self evaluate yourself, you would say the same thing. But uh, I'm finding my true identity and my ancestors by researching. So some of the things I will read you and let you know. Uh, let's see. Okay, to be honest, I am what you see, nothing more, nothing less. Okay, so let me see here. Other countries, they do not use race. I think the only other country is Africa, I believe, use race to identify themselves. It doesn't tell you anything, to be honest, but your skin color, whatever. Okay, ethnicity. Descent is let's see, okay, ethnicity. The quality or fact of belonging to a population group or subgroup made up of people who share a common cultural background or descent. Now, that's better. Ethnicity. Okay. So the first one I will begin with is on my, excuse me, on my ancestry. Mexico was one place uh, that my genetics came from, and it was a big percentage. And from there, I know a percentage of Indian, and I knew I was, but I did not know it was from Mexico. Now I know, but I am not sure uh, for this Aztec or Mayan. I'm pretty sure it's Mayan, but I am going to look further. I have to put my glasses on while I read this to you. Let's see this information. Okay, okay. This may be of interest. Uh, During the conquest of Aztec Empire, the Spanish conquistadors allied with other ethnic groups in the region, including the Lacotex. This strategy succeeded due to the discontent with Aztec rule, which demanded tributes and used conquered peoples for ritual sacrifice. Mm. During the following decades, the Spanish consolidated their rule in what became the Viceroyalty of New Spain. Through the Valladolid debate, the crown recognized the indigenous nobility in Mesoamerica as nobles, freed indigenous slaves, and kept the existing basic structure of indigenous city states. Indigenous communities were incorporated as community under Spanish rule. As part of the Spanish incorporation of indigenous into the colonial system, the friars taught indigenous scribes to write their language in Latin letters, so that there is a large corpus of colonial era documentation in Nuer language, Mixtec, Zapotec, Yucatec, Maya, and others. Such a written tradition likely took hold through existing practices of pictorial writing found in many indigenous codices. New philology, philology scholars have utilized the colonial era alphabet documentation to illuminate the colonial experience of Mesoamerican peoples from their own viewpoint. So, uh, this is how uh, Mexico came about. They uh, all of the people just mixed together. And that's how Mexico came about. The slaves, everybody, the Indians, the uh, masters, all of that. They just stopped fighting each other and came together. And they was made nobles and given things and stuff like that. So that's how Mexico came about. And like I said, I'm part Indian and I think I'm Mayan. Okay. Conquerors awarded labor and tribute under the economy, e, ecomienda system, benefit, benefited financially since Mesoamerican people had existing requirements of labor duty and tribute. In the pre-conquest era, indigenous officials were involved in maintaining this system in their communities. There was a precipitous decline in indigenous population, mainly due to the spread of European diseases previously unknown in the America, but also through war and forced labor. Pandemics wrought havoc, but indigenous communities recovered with fewer members. Uh, let's see. Okay, let's see. This is very important. With contact between indigenous populations, Spaniards, African slaves, and starting in the late 16th century, Asian slaves, chinos, brought as goods the trade via the Manila galleon. There were an intermingling of groups with mixed race castas, particularly mestizos, become coming becoming a component of Spanish cities and to a lesser extent indigenous communities. The Spanish legal structure formally separated they called the República de Indios, the Republic of Indians, from the República de Españoles, Republic of Spaniards, with latter encompassing all those in the Hispanic sphere. Spaniards, Africans, and mixed race castas, although indigenous people were marginalized in the colonial system and often rebelled the paternal, paternalistic structure of the colonial rule supported the continued existence and structure of indigenous communities. The Spanish crown recognized the existing ruling group, gave protection to the land holdings of indigenous communities and individuals had access to Spanish legal system. However, these codes were often ignored in practice, and racial discrimination were prevalent in New Spain. Yep. Okay. So that was that part, the history of and the explanation of uh, that part of me, which is North American Indian. Okay. The other part, I learned them from my genealogy is from Yemen, so I will go back to that and get the explanations on that. Okay, let's see. Ah. Yemen, let's see. Okay, there it is. Okay, let's see here. Yemen capital. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay. All right, here it is. Right in the middle. Okay. Yemen profile. Okay. Yemen has been at the crossroads of Africa, the Middle East, and Asia for thousands of years. Thanks to its position on the ancient spice routes, it is one of the possible locations of biblical kingdom of Sheba. Okay, I don't know if you can see this or not, but let's see. Oh, there we go. Yemen is in the middle, if you can see it. Yeah, that's Yemen. Okay, let's see. Romans knew this fertile country as Arabia. Yeah. Uh, Felix, in contrast to the relatively barren Arabia deserter to the north. So you see, Yemen is in the, yeah, as I showed you, and the capital of Yemen is Sinai, and around it is Oman, Saudi Arabia, nothing but desert, Eritrea, and the Djibouti. Okay, so the modern Republic of Yemen was born in 1990, when North Yemen and communist run South Yemen merged after years of clashes. Okay, let me find that information that I had read before that would be of interest. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Check this out. Family and education. No, that's not it. It's something else. Okay, profile, country. Let's see here. Yemen's history. Okay. So, part of Yemen, also, also Iran is within that area also too. Uh, there was a lot of fighting between, uh, let's see, between Yemen and another country. Okay, what's happening in Yemen? Okay, so uh, they do not use race here, as I had said before. They just there's just Arabs and Afro Arab, and that's it. They do not use color or race, just ethnicity. That's it. And I am part of that. So also too in Yemen uh, there used to be a while back a lot of Hebrews that lived in Yemen, uh, over thousands. But when America found out of whatever, it's like in the 60s or something, I think, uh, they flew them back, the ones that wanted to go back to Israel and set them up. And but there are about 50 Hebrews still that lives in Yemen. Uh, so that's where I guess I got the Jewish part. So it's the Jewish part, the Yemeni part, and the North American Indian part, Mayan. So that's how you can look up the genealogy and find out exactly who you are. And I'm still looking. I hope to get closer where I can go to some of these places. Maybe start with one and find my family, my ancestry exactly. It may take time, and it may take time to get the information and everything, but I'm closer than I ever was before. So, uh, right now, when papers ask me uh, what my race is, I do not answer because I do not feel it's relevant. Uh, now, even then, I did not uh, give, if they asked ethnicity, I did not give it either because I did not feel it was relevant to what they was doing for me or to me. So I don't answer either one. It's none of their business. Let them, guess. Let them put their little tiny brain to work and guess what I am. Uh, you probably would never be right, but you can guess, you know. But now I know. And what my brothers and sisters had been saying, uh, I'm afraid it might have been right, but that's all right. It doesn't matter because no matter what, my father loved me, and I will always be his daughter, no matter what. But I figure that uh, if they knew something, I figured if you were a kind, loving brother or sister, uh, that you would have told me. But because my mother was narcissistic, uh, she probably scared them and said, never tell her, most likely. She was evil and very mean, and her kids took after her. Uh, they was horrible to me growing up, and they like to uh, just torture me for no reason than to torture. But everything was for a reason in God's eyes, and I think it's to make me stronger uh, and make my constitution stronger, and that to make me tenacious like my papa was, so I could take on things when it got hard and uh, continue. So this is to tell the truth and what is my identity. Okay? And what is your identity? Do you know? I know now, but I do not identify by what the European people say, because they like to label everything. Where did they get that from? So, thank you for joining me, and thank you for supporting me, and hello, my tribe, and hello, my community. Uh, I need to get 500 subscribers. Can you help me? Please help me. Thank you, and take care of yourself and each other. And I will say good night and see you soon. Thank you.